Hi, it's me again, Phoenix here, and welcome to episode 2 of Diaries. And I've been giving a lot of thought as to what to address next. And the way I'm going to go about these episodes is similar to how I would approach pleasing myself, and in terms of orgasms. And I'm going to give you some background today. I'm not just going to jump right into let's say the basics, but I want to jump into the basics, but not straight into the mechanics, let's say, of a physical orgasm, because just as I learned in my nutrition class, because besides being being a student of life, I have been a student in college for about 4 years total, but not consecutively. I actually am back in school for the 4th time, but not your traditional school. But anyway, that's besides the point. What I'm looking to do now is educate others in terms of life lessons as well as pragmatic lessons. So, as I was saying, in nutrition, we learned that digestion begins in the mouth as soon as food starts to break down with saliva. So, just like with that, with orgasms, they never stop. You're always being turned on, especially as a woman. And this is where I find that there's a lot of research lacking. And by the way, that stat that I gave last time is the most recent thing I've seen when I did some research on that is 57% of women do not experience orgasms during sex. That's what that pertains to, not ever in their lives. Actually, that stat is pretty low, fortunately. I think it's closer to say only 15% of women have never had an orgasm, which is good. I'm glad that more women are orgasming in their lives, but that's still, I would like it to increase, especially on our own and having regular orgasms. And that's a big part of what I feel that my purpose is. I feel a calling to help more women, particularly, learn how to pleasure themselves and achieve the elusive orgasm. And more than anything, that is important, but to live an orgasmic life. So that's why this episode, I'm entitling it How to Live an Orgasmic Life. And it's going to be a series, and I'm not sure when it'll end, how long it'll be. But so that's my approach, is starting with the mind and your emotions. And as I said last time, about creating a setting that's very comfortable for you and one that is stimulating. So, okay, give you a little bit of background. My first orgasm, which does contribute to leading a more orgasmic life, my first orgasm was around 15 years old, and I don't remember the details clearly, but I know that I was taking a shower. And though now if I orgasm while in a shower, it's from a detachable shower head. Wonderful. I don't think it's rare for me to have as many orgasms as I do when you take the shower head off and you put it on the massage setting and just place it all along that area, preferably in circles. Circles are our friends, let me tell you. So, circles, and sometimes direct stimulation to clitoris or any of the area can be a bit too much. If so, just go to other areas and then breathe. That's a big key. For my orgasms, I actually haven't asked anyone else if they pay attention to their breathing. I know relaxation tends to be a common thread that I read and hear about. So why not? But deep breathing, like oftentimes during my orgasms of any sort, whether from a toy, from shower, from my hand, or someone else, and when I exhale, I am pushing, contracting my muscles, my basically my butt muscles and my hips, and I'm actually pretty sore oftentimes the next day from this. But it's, as I say, if you imagine, it's easier oftentimes for someone to imagine a guy thrusting, but if you're pushing, thrusting, and say, if you think of your clit as a penis, and it's that energy is coming out there, so when you breathe in, relax completely, and then breathe out, pushing, and that undulating movement is part of the buildup of the orgasm. So, all right, I'm working on being concise. Stimulating yourself, it's a personal thing, and it's important for you to know what that is. Someone can't just tell you. I can give you suggestions, and I'll give you plenty of suggestions. So, such as now. For me, as we see, being outside in nature when it's beautiful and nice like it is these days, definitely stimulates me. The fresh air, the freedom, the expanse, the beauty. Actually just started to hear music off in the distance, and that's another one. Music is huge. Okay, so back to the orgasm story when I was 15. I'm gonna do my best not to go on too many tangents. Forgive me, I'm working on this. I used to listen to music while I was in the shower, and when I was 15, I loved Jane's Addiction. Prince too. Huge Prince fan. More so then than I am now. I still love him, but I just don't listen to his music like I did then. But Jane's Addiction, I had recently been turned on to, literally and metaphorically, and when I don't remember the first time I had an orgasm, but when I did, I quickly started timing them to the climactic moments in the song. So I remember clearly with the song 3 Days, still an all-time favorite, very orgasmic. And say another comparable one, and any song that builds up would be Jimi Hendrix 1983 A Merman I Should Turn and Be. But say with 3 Days, there's this build up, and it's like, whoo, it gets to this point, and then it's like a metaphoric, or a musical orgasm. And one of Prince's songs that I love is Adore. So, okay, here's just a quick scenario to play around with, and I'll get into details in future videos, but just imagine yourself playing your favorite song. And for me, again, at that time it was 3 days, and it started with the shower. It actually took me until moving out of my mom's house and living on my own to start to masturbate using my hands, and it took a lot of work and a long time, but before, you know, I would orgasm, because oftentimes it'll take us, say, 15-20 minutes is the average I've read about. I can orgasm faster now because my body and my hormones are just more used to it, but it does depend on the time of month. We'll get into that later too. But say, you know, I've actually orgasmed here, and it's been wonderful, and I'm in a private area. No one generally comes across this area, and with music though, so anyway, like in terms of just using your hand and breathing and being turned on by the sounds and the smells and say the taste, if you know you have a favorite food. For me it's strawberries. I find strawberries so delicious and erotic and amazing. But whatever it is, you know, some people say what oysters, clams, really not my thing, but if it's yours, and enjoy it, partake in it, do whatever it is to turn your senses on, and that's where it starts. So I look at it as like all of life. Like orgasms to me mirror life in general, and that's why I feel like this is such an important thing for everybody, and it is different. Female orgasms are different than male orgasms, and one isn't better or worse. They complement each other, but I want to disseminate the more correct information about how to achieve them, how to experience them, and how to lead a more orgasmic life. So in stimulating yourself by doing, feeling, thinking, relaxing, and enjoying the things that you love, or even just like, then let it come to you. Let yourself come, allow it, be open to it. And if it doesn't happen the first time you try, or second time, or any time, just enjoy it for what it's worth and continue on. But say once you do orgasm, that is not the end, to be honest. in what I call one session where I haven't stopped stimulating myself, I've had upwards of 30, 35 orgasms within an hour, hour and a half tops. Think of it sometimes with the shower massager, especially the water's gone cold. I'm like, put it down, put the massager down. Oh, they're just, yeah, it can be hard to stop once you breathe through the first orgasm and relax, and then say stimulate other areas, or just, you know, not focus on your clitoris. That's generally what I'm stimulating myself, where I'm getting, you know, the most pleasure. But I'll come back to it, and then before I know it, I am orgasming again. It's just knowing your body well. Actually, sometimes I can have a second orgasm within a minute later, and then the third one will take, you know, another few minutes. But I'm not overthinking it, and that's what I've read and understand. A lot of people overthink it too much, and I actually rarely fantasize, which I've heard some people do, about any particular person. Every once in a while I do. I recently had got into fantasizing about a particular person, and then decided to stop doing that and just go back to being open, because to whatever images and feelings that come to mind and thoughts, because to be honest, I have learned a lot about life, my soul, God. It's been mind, body, and spirit, just transformational, mind-blowing. Just, they're incredible. So that's why I'm doing these, to help as much as possible. And I'm gonna leave this episode in terms of having an orgasmic life for now. Focus on, I suggest focusing a bit on meditation and doing things that are meditative, music, and living a more orgasmic life. So to put that in order in another way, I have this thing that I call mom, mothering ourselves, mom, nurturing, protecting, trusting ourselves, music, orgasms, and meditation, and making more time for this in your life. I mean, this is free, so there's no money back guarantee, but I guarantee it will change you and your whole world around you for the better. So, I mean, what do you have to lose? There's so much to gain. So this is a little longer than I meant it to be, but thank you for listening and watching, and there will be much more to come. Thank you. I love you.